My name is Ivana Savic and I'm coming from Belgrade, Serbia. I've been involved in the Rio+20 process since its beginning, especially within the major group for children and youth. Rio+20 is really one of the greatest things, I believe, in this century that could happen to the world. I think it's really great that actually all countries in the world will gather next year in June and discuss sustainable development. But it's not only sustainable development, it's the essence of sustainable development, it's human development. So we'll discuss our development, how we are going to develop, how we are going to live, and in the worst case, how we are going to survive, because obviously we have issues with surviving due to all kind of environmental degradations, degradation caused by human factor, for example conflicts or domestic violence, etc., etc. So what I believe that one of the most important outcomes, or what should be the outcome of the Rio+20, is actually change values. Document as such, yes, we will have a document that will of course be outcome of the Rio+20, but it's going to be just a piece of paper where we don't actually change our values and change the way how we live. Because the most important thing is actually to be conscious of your acts, to kind of agree your common values and what you want to achieve in 5 years, in 10 years, in 100 years. And the most important thing for Rio is actually to be the outcome document, or whatever outcome is actually built by consensus, because consensus will actually ensure that we will have meaningful Rio+20 outcome, or outcome for the sustainable development. And what I also believe it's really important is actually not that only states are deciding about our future development. It's also important for civil society or citizens to be involved in this process. But not only to be involved, but actually to build partnership with governments, because that's the only way how we are going to ensure that we actually have that consensus, that we have consensus for implementation, because we are aware that we have avalanches of documents, pile of documents that really make you petrified. But what we are lacking, chronically lacking, is the way how we implement it. Implementation is not an easy thing. You just need to know how to do it, and it's an ongoing process. You learn it, you make a mistake, and then you learn from your mistake. You have that space for failure. How that should be done? By building partnership, discussing and actually addressing causes, not dealing with results. Because we were learned, at least that's my opinion, we were learned to deal with results, only with consequences. We never talked about causes, how to prevent causes, we're just focusing on consequences. I am not saying it's not important, but I think we would deal less with those consequences if we were focused more on how to prevent things, and if we were working on general prevention and taking well-being of people as the most important value. The same goes with economic development. Economy should not contribute to the greater inequalities in society. On the contrary, new economy should nurture the culture of equality, should reduce poverty, particularly poverty of children and young people. The new economy should be based on human rights, should take into account the natural resources that we have, and move forward and kind of move from something that is only focused on material things to things that are more based on knowledge, on information, and kind of even more support democracy and democratic society, and enable also people and economy that will enable people actually to participate in those decision-making processes. But not just for the sake of participating in decision-making process, but participating in the life of the community, because this conference is all about participating in our community on a global level, but it's all about that. One of the things that I hope for Rio+20 is actually that integrated, holistic approach to development, where when we think about development, we think about economy, we think about human rights, and we think about our environment. We have that understanding. We have understanding of the domino effects that happens. We have understanding of the consequences. We have the understanding of the causes, and we are working toward one common goal. And this is obviously our survival, because if we continue to develop in such a way where obviously we have a lot of crises all over the world, no one is safe from being in another way of crisis. We need to learn how to overcome, how to develop ourselves, and one of the ways how that could be achieved is actually through human rights, because human rights could actually encompass everything. It can encompass economy, it can encompass environmental rights, environmental human rights, and environmental rights of the child. So this, I think, we should I hope this could be achieved at Rio+20. I'm not expecting from Rio to be a magic wand that we will just shake and have whatever we want. Change is ongoing process. It takes a lot of years, it takes a lot of time, a lot of resources to make a change. And even though, we will probably not be aware that we made a change that we want to see, because it will not be obvious. It will not come all of a sudden. It will take time. But I think that Rio+20, I hope that one of the main outcomes of Rio+20 is actually to initiate that reaction about sustainable development, about human development that is integrated within those three pillars, that is harmonious, and actually puts the human well-being as a core value.